Coach, welcome. Thanks for taking the interview. Yeah, we're here with former Notre Dame Hound, North Dakota Fighting Sioux, current assistant coach for world champion, national champion anyway, Western Michigan Broncos, Jason Herter. Thanks for your time. How you doing?
I'm doing great.
Yeah?
It's been a great summer.
Yeah?
Great season start and ready to get back after it tonight.
Yeah, I bet. Well, you tell everyone you were the first overall pick, but I think you were just a first rounder. Is that right?
Just a first round.
Just a first
Yeah.
rounder. Vancouver
back in the day, and it's actually funny. It kind of makes me have a story for kids as they're going through the same thing, because at Christmas time in my freshman year in North Dakota, I was rated number 1 overall.
Wow.
So it had me, Matt Sundin, like Stu Barnes, they had me at number 1, and I went from number 1 in the midterm rankings to 8th.
Doing what did you
Exactly.
You
You know how
Yeah.
bad you gotta be
Yeah.
to go from 1 to 8.
Yeah.
Like McKenna right now might go from 1 to 2.
Yeah.
But you know what I mean? And
Yeah.
to me, it
Interesting.
was a whole thing where I went to college just to play hockey. I was excited. I got off the farm in Saskatchewan. I'm going to play hockey. I'm getting education. And all of a sudden, it was that wow moment where people are really watching me. And I didn't know how to handle it, where now kids have agents at 13 and they get the limelight and they got websites and this and that. I do believe they learn how to handle it a lot better
Yeah.
at a younger age, but I didn't handle it well and I was already in college.
Yeah. Even a small town kid nowadays is a little more worldly than
There's no
back
question.
in the day.
There's no
Just
question.
because of the way the world is.
Mm-hmm.
So tell us how you got started at defense. Were you always a defenseman, or how did you evolve into a defenseman?
My little town, it's like every other
What town
little
was it?
A town called Hafford, Saskatchewan.
Hafford. Yeah.
Yeah, I know you've driven through it many times.
Yes.
I guarantee you have.
Couple players from there.
Yep, but
Other players.
it was, you have to play every sport, or they don't have a team. Small farming community.
Which is really good for hockey development. It's
It was.
proven.
I played basketball, fast pitch, track. I did everything because
Yeah.
that's just what you did, right? And when I played hockey, I wanted the puck. I was that kid, right? So I played forward, and when I had it, it was hard to get it back from me. And then as I got older, it was like, it's even more fun to have the puck all the time when you're playing D. Because then you kind of get to, I'll say, drive the offense from the back end, and then you can see everything in front of you when the defense comes. You can read behind rushes. You don't have to look over your shoulder to see if someone's out back checking you, because everything's in front of you.
Yeah.
And I really like that part of it the most, is where you have everything in front of you, and then you can use your brain to read situations, and then get ready to jump in offense.
Yeah. Do you find a lot of defensemen that you've recruited through the years have played forward in their time?
There's only been a couple.
Right?
And a couple Minnesota high school guys that I've recruited when I was at Duluth. I weren't sure if they were defensemen or not. Scotty Pernovich. He was more of a rover.
Yeah.
But he learned how to defend in his own way. But when he had the puck on his stick, he was dynamic.
Yeah.
So I wasn't sure if, about the National Hockey League and all that stuff for him, but I knew he was going to be a hell of a college player.
Yeah. Well, I've heard a lot of coaches say, well, this guy can't play defense, but I can teach him to play defense. And I found that that's true sometimes, but not always. Sometimes guys aren't wired to play defense the correct way, no matter how much you're pounding in their head the basics of how to play.
Well, the basics are, like you said, like my boss is probably, Pat Firschweiler is probably the best coach I've ever been around. I also played pro hockey with him. And the reason I think he's such a great coach is because he was the hardworking forward at the pro level that had to get stuff beat down his head to do things right every time, or he didn't get to play.
Yeah.
I think those guys make great coaches because
I agree.
because they have
Doesn't come easy.
it doesn't come easy, so they have a progression of how to be good.
Yeah.
Where Wayne Gretzky wasn't a great coach because he just did it.
Yeah.
You didn't have to be taught. He
How
just
can
did
you-
it.
How can you
So how do you
not
teach?
see this? It's easy. It's
Yeah.
right. The guy's open.
Exactly. So
Yeah.
when you don't have to be taught, it's hard to teach it.
Did you have a great defenseman coach that you can talk about that made an impact on you, that maybe made a difference in your life?
Yes, actually, one that comes to mind for sure is Norman Rochefort. He was at the end of his career, played his whole career in the NHL, just a stay-at-home, puck-moving defenseman, big man. He was my D partner in Kansas City in the IHL. And that's the first time, believe it or not, it was the first time, so it was my 4th year of pro hockey, where someone actually told me that you have to put your stick on the puck and skate forward at him.
Yeah. It's amazing how much guys have, even today, guys are not all coached and some of the fundamentals.
Yeah.
And that would be like
Something
your
that we
stick
do
play.
today,
Your stick
first
play
day
is like,
in my
you're
program.
like, damn sure those guys are.
Mhm.
Yeah, and
And
Scotty
it's-
Stevens says the same stories, like his 13th year in the NHL. You know, Larry Robinson and a couple guys told him, "Just saw you play." It's like, whoa.
Yeah.
You know.
It's amazing
But I
you
think-
learn it so late, though.
Yeah, nowadays I think there's a lot more coaches. You had a good shot back then. Is there a way you developed it? How much did you pound pucks? How important was shooting for you to develop a good shot?
So I remember when I was just strong enough to bend a stick, so maybe 10 years old. And back in the day, it was wooden sticks. So it was the old, I do believe it was a junior 50-30 Featherlight Sherwood back in the day. And the picture of the feather on the side.
Yeah.
It was all cool. I bent it underneath the door with a little torch. And I said, Dad, I want to learn to take a slap shot. And he goes, you know, son, I don't have a very good, my dad was a good hockey player. He goes, but I'm not the one to teach you that. So he got one of his buddies to come on that played on the senior team there because he had a good slap shot. And all the guy told me is to take a lot of ice and bend your stick and follow through with your hands out and the stick, let the stick.
Which is good advice back then.
Way back then, I was
Yeah.
10 years old, so that's
Yeah.
45 years ago.
Yeah, wow.
And he said,
Yeah.
take a lot of ice, hit behind the puck, and scrape down as hard as you can through the puck. And he goes, your stick will do the work. All you have to do is have the form.
Yeah.
And that's how I started. And from then on, when I was strong enough to actually do slap shots, it just went. And the stick did all the
I
work.
was told the exact thing 2 years after college. I mean, that's the story
Mhm.
of how we were coached back then. You know,
But he was an old
how-
farmer. He was an old farmer that used to play hockey on my dad's senior team.
Yeah.
You know, he was awesome.
Let me talk about confidence because that's an important word for defensemen nowadays. And back then, people probably didn't even talk to you about confidence. You know, put pressure on, hey, you're a first overall pick or first round pick. You know, I mean, just deal with it, kind of thing, son.
Mm-hmm.
Kids today are under a lot of pressure, and confidence is an important thing. Is there anything you can do when you're coaching your players to work with confidence, or is there anything that anyone did to you, helped you with your confidence or lack of confidence when that happened?
Well, we'll start with me, and then we'll go into how I try and coach to make it happen for us. I don't think anyone can teach you confidence. It's an inner drive thing for me personally, and it's a personality thing. And we've all coached kids and played with guys give you that they have a very short memory. They try some stuff and the coach can get on them and they try it again. But at the end of the day, they're 8 out of 10. When it works out, the coach is happy. When it doesn't, he's in your face.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So I took that and I'm going, that's kind of a cop-out for coaching. You can either tell him to keep trying it because it was the right play, or tell him not to do it or he doesn't play for you. It depends what you like as a coach. But being in between, I'm not a big fan of.
Yeah.
So for me, I wasn't the defenseman that could beat other defensemen one-on-one when I was up in the rush. I had to do things right. My game was I could skate and I could shoot. So I didn't want the puck. I wanted other people to have the puck, and my job was to get open and shoot it. So a lot of times someone had to cover me and I wouldn't get the puck. And when I got it, I shot it. And I would just tell the forwards, if you don't want me to shoot it, don't give it to me. Because I wasn't the guy that was going to beat guys, and I didn't have the confidence, even though I had the skill, because that's just what defensemen did back then. You either skated around people, but you never skated through people.
Yeah.
Right?
Right.
And
It's dangerous.
I'll just go my time in North Dakota. So right after I left North Dakota, I'm trying to think of the young man that was in there next from St. Louis. He grew up in St. Louis playing the high draft pick. It'll come to me. But he'd go down the ice and he could do this and that, whatever, and he could literally beat people one-on-one and make plays at the net at a high pace, but he didn't want to defend. But he had a short memory, so when he got yelled at, he didn't care.
Yeah.
He was gonna do it again, because that's just how he played.
Yeah.
You know, so now when I'm coaching kids, I would like to say I'm a next time coach. So what we do a lot right now is we film practice. Because the kids deserve to know exactly why they're not playing. And you can't just say work harder like they used to. It's a cop-out from coach, I just work a little harder. No.
Yeah.
Why? I feel I'm working hard. Can you show me what hard work is? Or you need to do this. I think I'm doing this. Come watch film. And if they're not playing in games, you have to have something to show them. Because film is a factual representation of exactly what happened.
Hard for that to lie.
right?
It is.
So you show them film, and they get better in practice and all this stuff. But now they're in a game, and they make a mistake. They know they made a mistake. Their teammates know they make the mistake. Every fan knows they made a mistake. The last thing that kid needs is an earful when he gets to the bench.
Yeah, exactly.
The last thing
Yeah.
they need.
Yeah.
And you know what?
No kidding, I fell down on the blue line. Thanks, coach. Any other tips?
Yeah.
You know, I mean.
Yeah, I tripped over my own feet having a break, but yeah.
Yeah.
Don't do that next time, damn it. Like, stop it.
I know.
So
So don't
we-
let it deflect off your
Shin
ankle
pad.
next time.
Yeah.
Move it to the left a little bit. Thanks, coach. Any
Right.
other tips?
And first taught me this, and that's how I
Yeah.
grew as a coach, where it's you be a next time coach. Let him cool off for a bit.
Yeah.
If you need to sit him out because he's still like in his own head
Yeah.
for a shift, fine.
Yeah.
Then you go over to him and you say, I know what you're trying to do. Here's what I saw from the bench.
Mm-hmm.
Next time,
Yeah. Here's a
when you feel the pressure from that side, keep going away from pressure. If
Yeah.
he switches the side the pressure, then you can cut back. But don't cut back into pressure because that's what
Yeah.
you want to do.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So you,
Yeah.
you teach him how to have success the next time.
Yeah. Well, Kim Johnson from the Wild, he said his pro coach in Sweden was responsible for him getting the NHL, and he ended up playing almost 800 games because of one single plain tip this guy talked about all the time. He told him, just get that puck and go with it. And they said the puck just opened up and the ice, it made it easy for him. And he was a skater and it kind of helped him. And that was the one tip. And I think all the defensemen coaches in the world, they want to be great coaches. Is there one thing you can tell defensemen that can get your players to the NHL? Or is there one thing in your mind that you want to tell your defensemen so that your Western Michigan Broncos can all get to the NHL?
Be repeatable.
You what?
Be repeatable.
Okay.
Okay, so once things bottleneck, there's a lot of good players fighting for, and it may be for one little box on the lineup sheet, not one out of 8 defensemen, but one little thing they're looking for to be the partner of another guy, or this is what we're missing back there. We need size and aggression. We need speed and skating. Like, they're looking for one player, and there might be 3 guys fighting for one spot, not one guy fighting for 8 spots.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It's totally different once you get up there. Now, why I say repeatable is any coach wants to know what he has. When you get to the National Hockey League, things have to be done every time. There's no room. You can't have a bad game. It's either a good game or a great game. A bad game is not repeatable hockey. And the coach, when he puts you out there, he doesn't want to be like bingo balls, not sure what's going to come out. He knows at his worst, I'm going to get this, and I like this. So for me at Western Michigan, when I go recruiting, I want skaters because we defend skating forward as best we can. We gap up and we skate forward. Some people call it surfing, some people call it squeezing. I call it lateral gapping, and just skate forward and push to the outside. Squeeze the middle, skate forward and push to the outside, because it makes it easier for our forwards to track, and it sets up our breakouts that we practice all the time.
Mm-hmm.
When someone decides to go and his partner doesn't, there's a huge hole in the middle of the rink. And the consistency of being able to do that every time is hard, because the flank guy seems always open in your mind as a defenseman.
Yeah.
But if you get there in a hurry before the forward can make a pass, that pass would literally have to go off his stick, through your partner's body, through the drive guy's body, through your body, and get there. And if that kid can make that play consistently, he's in the wrong league.
Yeah, and if he's safe too, I mean, you're playing tight, but you're safe. That's the most important thing.
There's no question.
Yeah. If we were to ask me that question, I would say you got to be coachable. I think, all the experience you've had coaching defensemen, if they're not coachable, I mean extremely coachable. When you say something, you're EFing and they're listening. They might not take everything that you say, but you got to be a student of the game, because it's a complex position, and
it changes all the time.
It changes all the time. I mean, my God, it's amazing. But you got to be coachable, and you got to be able to want to be coached, and soak in as much and watch NHL games, watch how the great one plays, and see how you incorporate that into your game. I think that's really important.
I think coaches need to do more of that too, not just the players.
Yeah.
But I watch a lot of NHL hockey because I want to teach whatever they're doing, so it's not new for the players when they get their chance.
Yeah.
It's not that hard to get a chance; it's hard to stay.
Yeah. Well, that brings me to my next question. Is there a difference? I see you have a bunch of Europeans on your team, and when I was recruiting, there were so many Swedes I think that were influenced by Nicholas Lidstrom. You know, I was there when Nicholas at his peak, and he was just dominating the NHL. He was a great player. And after that, it seems like there was a great run of Swedish-minded offensive defensemen like Carlson and Wallin, Hedman and Ekman Larsson and Brodin and Ekholm. Is there a different mentality over there for defensemen? I think the NHL has adopted a lot of the way the Europeans have played. But does that give the Europeans a step up offensively for the defensemen? Do you think there's something to that?
That I don't know because I haven't been over there. I know those players
Yeah.
that you're talking about, and they're
Yeah.
so much fun to watch.
Yeah.
But we have our version of them here.
Yeah.
Just some of them aren't 6'4" and 6'5" and 6'6".
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But we have our 5'11" versions of those guys. They just don't last in the NHL or look as great in the NHL as those bigger guys.
Yeah.
My opinion. Like, we had, look at the guys Denver's had in the past. Some of those guys are fantastic offensive defensemen, but
Yeah.
they're 5'9".
Yeah.
Scott Prunovich, 5'10".
Yeah.
If those guys were 6'3",
Yeah.
we'd be watching. Like, look at Mikey Riley. Is it Mikey?
Yeah.
Like the skill set that he has for his size,
Yeah.
it's unbelievable.
Yeah.
But I also think that once you get like that over here in Canada or the States, you think that's all you are. Where I believe the guys in Sweden and Europe are not only great offensive players, but they defend really hard in their own way. And I don't think that the one smaller defenseman I thought that defended hard in his own way was Torrey Krug.
Yeah.
Because he was
a tough little guy.
competitive.
Yeah.
It's so competitive.
Yeah.
Right? And I think that those guys in Sweden that are 6'3", because of their size, they needed to compete.
Yeah.
But
I
they were also
think
gifted.
you're talking about a point that I think is the most important too, is compete for a defenseman. I mean, defensemen, it's like a goalie. Those goalies that compete and make sure that puck doesn't go in. Same thing with defensemen. You got to be able to compete. Yeah, you got to have that offensive skills, but you have to be able to compete to move up and compete.
There's no question, and it's a mentality too, big time, on how you react to failure, because you're the last line. There's a lot of people that screw up before the puck even gets to you or before the player even gets to you, right?
Yeah.
You have to take that with a grain of salt. And when I talk to my defensemen and first taught me this, like, you got to talk to them like they're the best cornerback in football going up against the best receiver.
It's good an analogy. I like that.
First play of the game, they throw 60-yard touchdown to their best receiver against your best player.
Yeah. And
you have to line up against him for 3.5 more quarters.
Yeah.
Are you going to fold like a cheap tent, or are you going to find a path to success next time?
Yeah.
Like, you have to, hey, it's going to happen. He's really good. So am I. I'm going to have my time with him too. You might get 2 in a row, but he's not going to get the next 8.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Just a mentality. I agree.
And I do that with the penalty kill too. And like the way we want to penalty kill at certain times, and we're not there yet this year, but the other team's going to score.
Yeah.
And it might be on ESPN highlights that night, but they're going to be 1 for 10 for the way we're killing. That's still 90% kill at the end of the day. That's really good.
Yeah.
Right? But that one is, you're going to want to not kill this way no more.
Yeah.
But you'll get 9 and 10.
Yeah. Well, thank you, Coach Herter. I think that's good, and some great advice for all the young kids out there. And be coachable. Listen to these guys, please.
Please, right?
Thanks, Coach. Good luck to you this weekend.
Thank you.